What's up, all you bitches and hoes? What's been going on over here? Just getting some food, got some avocados. Don't really know what else to get. I've been walking around in and out of stores all day, and I've been wearing a mask the whole entire day. Putting this bullshit to rest about all these faggy Karens saying, "Ooh, I can't breathe in a mask. I'm not gonna wear a mask, I can't breathe." I've been wearing this thing 6 hours already. I'll admit I did feel a little bit lightheaded. It's kind of on and off. I usually would only feel lightheadedness if I like bend downward and then I get up really quick. I'll feel lightheaded for like maybe a few seconds and then it goes away. But other than that, I've been wearing the mask all day. It's in the low 90s right now. You know, it's hot in Arizona. Anyone who's even heard of Arizona knows that it's hot. I'm gonna prove my own point. I'm jogging right now, wearing a mask. I'm gonna jog the rest of the way to the store just to prove that I'm not gonna get any more winded than I normally would without a mask. I keep going until I get to the parking lot. But still, point stands. I'm still talking normally. I made it to the parking lot, and I don't feel any more winded than I normally do. I'm going over to the other store because I couldn't find what I was looking for at the other store. I'm going over to this store to hopefully get this damn crap. And I haven't taken off my mask yet. I've been wearing it all day. So all these idiots that are just gonna be a stubborn bitch about it, all I gotta say is stop being a stubborn bitch. You know, stop being selfish. This isn't about politics. The virus is real. I think the story behind it is bullshit, but the virus itself is real. And what's happening right now is real. That's why if I gotta wear a mask, you know, if it means protecting myself and people around me, then I'm gonna fucking do it. Like, grow a fucking pair of nuts and do it. You know, even if you don't like it, too fucking bad. I don't know, I'm not like most people. Like, I don't make a big deal out of stupid shit. So here we go. Wear your damn mask. You know, if people will stop being stupid, clearly nobody knows how to properly handle a pandemic. Otherwise, we wouldn't still be getting upwards of 30,000 infections a day. We'd be getting like maybe 1,000 at most. Places like New Zealand that have gotten rid of the virus completely, they're getting like maybe a couple infections a day, if that. I think they've actually gotten rid of it already. And then here we are, it's still blowing up in America. It's not nearly as bad as it was. This wouldn't be nearly as bad if people could just be antisocial, which I know that's a pain in the ass. Like, who wants to do that? Just do that. Stay 10 feet from people. 6 feet, personally, in my opinion, is not enough. Stay 10 feet away from people. Stay outside. Wear a damn mask, especially if you're gonna be around people for more than a few minutes. Just wear a mask, and this wouldn't be nearly as bad. But people are making this a lot worse than it really is because people are stubborn and stupid. We're getting dangerously close to finally having an answer to this. An answer to when the beginning of the end is gonna start. And we can finally put this stupid virus behind us once and for all. And I can go back to work. Arizona really is turning around with this stupid virus. We've only been getting a couple hundred infections a day, and now today we got 82 today, kicking this virus's ass. Hopefully it'll stay that way just for a couple more months. We can get that stupid vaccine, assuming that it even works. It was more crowded than ever last time I was at the store trying to get crap, and I was there longer than I wanted to be. Like 99% of people in the store was wearing masks, so it's like I don't have to be that paranoid. But every time I go to a store, especially when it's crowded, I just get to be paranoid for the next 2 or 3 days, waking up every day for the next 2 or 3 days just thinking I'm gonna start feeling like shit, just dreading that day if it ever happens. That's why I hate going out. And what I mean by that 1% that doesn't wear a mask, they are wearing masks, but those are the people that are fucking retarded. The ones that have their nose hanging out like a boner, or they have it completely down and it's not even covering their face, or they have it hanging on their left ear or their right ear or something. And it's like, I'm just thinking in my head, like, why are you even wearing a mask? Like, if you're not gonna wear it right, then don't wear it at all, because it's useless if you're not gonna wear it right. You fucking idiot. And unfortunately, the pandemic isn't gonna be over until probably like late next year. But the good news is, think of it this way. The year of 2020 is when the nightmare started. During the beginning of 2021 is when the nightmare is gonna slowly fade away. It's not gonna go away overnight. Like when a vaccine comes out, probably in the next 2 to 3 months, it's not gonna go away overnight. We're still gonna be dealing with this stupid coronavirus probably until at least the middle of next year. That's the earliest I can predict that this will be pretty much over. So until then, we're probably still going to be having to wear masks every day whenever we go out. We go into stores, we're still going to have to wear masks and avoid people. But the good news is, starting next year in 2021, that's when this is all going to start calming down. We're going to see infections go down. It's going to be less and less infections. And at that point, over time, next year is when we'll finally be able to start lowering our guard, and we won't have to be paranoid all the time. 2021 is going to be the beginning of the end. That's assuming that any of these vaccines even work, which they probably will. I don't see why at least one vaccine isn't going to work. Either way, we're going to have an answer by the end of next month on if any of these vaccines are going to actually work or not, and then they'll start rolling out the vaccine shortly after that. And then this nightmare can slowly start to fade away. And then we can go back to our normal lives. Even though my life was never normal to begin with, but the sooner this is over, the better, damn it. I want to work again. I want to do stuff. I'm so bored. I'm so sick and tired of having to live like this. Every time I just go to the store, I have to be a nervous wreck for the next, like, 2 or 3 days, just thinking that I'm gonna randomly wake up feeling like shit. Like, I'm just sick of living like this. The sooner this is over, the better. So as we get closer and closer to the beginning of the end of this stupid pandemic, I wanted to share with you some of my personal best methods to not get sick, and if you do get sick, you could hopefully be in a better position to fight it off without dying or having to go to the hospital. But first things first, don't fall for all this bullshit, like all these herbal supplements and all these immune boosters. None of that stuff does jack shit. You don't need a boosted immune system. You need to have a healthy, functioning immune system. You need to make sure that you're not deficient in any sort of vitamins or minerals. If anything, you know, having an overactive, boosted immune system would probably make it worse in the long run, because having overactive immune systems can usually lead to other problems like autoimmune diseases. Kind of like, because I have an overactive immune system, and that's why I have this stupid Crohn's disorder and this gluten intolerance that makes me itchy every time I even breathe around gluten. Don't waste your time with all of that immune booster bullshit and herbal supplements. It doesn't really do anything. If anything, it might end up making it worse in the end if you end up getting sick. This virus is commonly known to cause excessive inflammation because your immune system basically overreacts virus, and it starts causing a shitload of inflammation throughout your whole body, and that's a big part that puts you in the hospital because it can cause damage to some of your internal organs. Some of the best ways that you can keep your immune system in tip-top shape and keep it better to fight off illness in general, not just COVID, but just illness in general. I go by 2 major vitamins, vitamin D and vitamin C. Those are the only 2 things that you really should be taking. You should be taking, especially right now, you should be taking generous amounts of vitamin D and vitamin C every day. That's what I've been doing. It's not rocket science. It's not a super complicated thing. Vitamin D has always shown to play an important role in immune health, and heavy role in immune health as well. Those are the 2 top things that I would recommend to take. Personally, I take 5,000 units of vitamin D every day. I wouldn't really take much more than 5,000 of vitamin D a day. It doesn't really serve much of a purpose. You can actually take a lot more daily value of vitamin D, what they let on about, you know, like there's some multivitamins that says it has like 90%, 100% daily value of vitamin D. You can take upwards of 600% daily value of vitamin D, and that's actually the optimal amount that you should be having on a daily basis. Most people are vitamin D deficient, even though, and they're not even aware of it. They think that they can go outside for like 30 or 40 minutes a day. Like they figure, hey, I'm out in the sun, I get amount of sun, so I get most of my vitamin D from that. There's a lot of people that are still vitamin D deficient, especially if you live in a climate that's constantly cloudy and you're not getting vitamin D at all from the sun. Those kind of people usually even have it worse than people that live in a sunny state like I do. So every time I go to the doctor, I'm always getting the same test done. You know, I always get blood work done. I don't have any vitamin deficiencies, even though I'm on this stupid medicine to treat my Crohn's that suppresses my immune system. So that's what puts me in the high risk category. So that's why I've been trying to avoid it as much as possible. The best cure is prevention. Don't get it at all in the first place. That's the best cure that you can possibly have right now. It's better than a vaccine, it's better than anything. Just don't get it to begin with. I take generous amounts of vitamin C every day, vitamin D, and just eat healthy whole foods. Just eat healthy. I also eat a lot of healthy whole foods, fruit and vegetables, whole grains, avoid processed garbage, avoid high sugar and high sodium. Right now, like, get whole foods and not have it be overwhelming is just stick to the produce section. When you go to the grocery store, stick to the produce section. Just get fresh fruits and vegetables, plain grains. Whole foods, to me, is basically foods that have very, very minimal to no processing. And there's not more than like maybe 2 or 3 ingredients added. For example, I'll get a bag of peanuts and you look at the ingredients, it just says peanuts. That's it. You know, maybe I'll say peanuts and then salt. Personally, I get unsalted, so it's just gonna say peanuts in the ingredients. You know, get low sodium canned beans, but sometimes, you know, they add a couple other stuff like firming agents, and so it's not really that bad. Personally, just stick to canned beans, low sodium. You know, I don't care about taste. I'll eat whatever I feel like eating. I prefer to eat healthy because I'm not a picky eater. So if I'm gonna eat food, I would prefer it to be healthy, but like if there's something that's not healthy, if it's there, assuming it's gluten-free, because I can't eat gluten, I really get sick and tired of feeling all itchy and irritated, and I just feel like crap whenever I eat that. So as far as I'm concerned, if it's gluten-free, I'll eat it. I also drink a lot of tea, more specifically green tea. Green tea is probably one of the healthiest things that you could possibly drink. Green tea has such ridiculous amount of health benefits. It fights all kinds of sickness. It fights cancer. It's my personal favorite beverage. Like the top 3 things I usually drink would be water, green tea, or any tea in general, but I usually go for green tea the best because it's the best for you and it has a very mild flavor. There's a lot of other teas that are really strong and really bitter, and you know, it'll get you, if you're picky about flavor, then if you have like black tea, for example, it's a lot stronger. Then in that case, you might be kind of pressured into throwing a bunch of sugar or artificial sweeteners in it. And then it's kind of defeat the whole purpose of drinking tea for the health benefits, because you're gonna be chugging a bunch of artificial sweeteners or sugar or corn syrup with it. So it's gonna be kind of pointless. Like, why bother? You might as well just go get some juice and drink that, because juice is mostly just sugar. If I do drink juice, I always go for the juice that says no sugar added, because juice is already high sugar in general. It's natural sugar, but it's still mostly sugar. There's a very high sugar content regardless. One thing, if you're gonna drink juice, make sure that it says on the front of the thing, no sugar added. Stay away from stuff that says juice cocktail, because almost guaranteed, the juices that say juice cocktail, those almost always have a ton of added sugar put into it. Every time I look at the ingredients of these juices that say juice cocktail, like cranberry this or that juice, and it says juice cocktail on the side, I'll look at the ingredients. The first ingredient is water, second ingredient is sugar, and then the rest of it's just flavoring. Like, it's like maybe 10% juice, like actual juice. It's pointless. So if you're gonna get juice, make sure that it says 100% juice, no sugar added. And then to make sure that they're not bullshitting you, check the added ingredients. It should say the sugar content, but it should also say 0 grams of added sugar. So that means that you're just drinking the natural juice, even though it's most of the time it's concentrate, but it's still, you need to know if you're drinking the actual juice or if you're just drinking sugar water. So a lot of the whole foods that I eat, bagged apples, avocados, plain rice, I'll get instant rice that's already been pre-cooked, so I can just put some hot water in it and just let it sit for a couple minutes and then it's ready to go, because regular rice takes forever to cook. They're both the same damn thing, you know, pre-cooked rice and raw rice, they're the same thing. There's nothing added to it. Usually they're enriched, but either way, I usually just get, but I've noticed that white rice has a little bit more of a protein content. Sometimes I just kind of balance it out. Sometimes I'll get brown rice, sometimes I'll have white rice. It really does, it's up to you on if you like chewy rice or if you like more plain. Those kind of places, like Winco that I went to, for example, is a big grocery store. It's pretty much like one of those bulk food stores like Sam's Club or Costco. It's open 24 hours, but you don't need a membership, which is kind of surprising, because it's like, how can they afford that? Like, I've seen a lot of dirt cheap stuff there that's like almost half the cost of some foods I see somewhere else. Like a box of gluten-free pasta is like $2.50 in most places I see it, sometimes more. The same box of gluten-free pasta that I see at Winco is usually like $1.30, maybe even $1.23. I've seen it that low before. It's kind of weird. Like, it's really tall, it's really open, and there's tons of ventilation. Those would be more of like maybe a medium risk. I wouldn't consider it a high risk. High risk areas would be small enclosed spaces like an office, for example, and there's pretty much no ventilation, so everything just kind of sits, you know, just floats around. Anything that floats around there, it stays in the air for hours. And if you have to go into those cramped enclosed places, don't stay in there very long. It should be an in and out kind of thing. Wear a face mask and wear a face shield if you're really that paranoid. Personally, I wear a mask and a face shield. I wouldn't say just wear a face shield on its own. You know, a mask is usually the best way to go, especially if you're sick. It blocks everything from coming out. If you're sick and you're just wearing a face shield, then if you like cough or sneeze, it's gonna hit the shield and then it's gonna kind of go outward like this. So it's still gonna get everywhere. A mask completely covers and seals your nose and your mouth, especially if you wear it tight. For me, like when I put the straps around my ear, I twist it. I kind of like double knot it around my ear so it has a more tight fit, just so it can block stuff a little bit better. If you haven't noticed, you'll see that I kind of had it twisted around my ear just so it'll have a tighter fit. If you're already sick and you might not even be aware of it, then it'll keep you from getting other people sick. You know, so like, because every time you talk and little bits of microscopic particles, little bits of mist that you probably can't even see most of the time, go out of your mouth and it just floats around. And especially if you cough or sneeze, like 10 times more of that crap comes out. That's what the mask is for. Like, it does provide some kind of protection depending on what kind of mask you use. If you're using those cheap cloth masks or a homemade mask, or you're using those stupid stylish kind of masks that are made of like cloth or bamboo that you can get at the store or whatever, you know, those work. They're all right as far as like, if you're sick, it'll block the majority of particles that come out of your mouth. But as far as like, is it going to protect you from walking into a pathogen? More than likely not. The order of effectiveness on the mask, those cloth masks and homemade masks, they hardly do shit. Like, look it up if you don't believe me. There's a lot of videos out there that compare every major type of mask and they'll try to blow out a candle, and the cloth masks, and they'll easily put out the candle. Like, you can see the air coming out. The cloth masks hardly block anything. And then they'll go all the way up to an N95 mask, trying to blow out the candle as hard as they can, and you can't see the candle moving at all. Like, the N95 masks are the best way to go. Cloth, like cotton masks, they don't really do much. You know, it's better than nothing, but I wouldn't really recommend it. And then a step up from that would be those surgical masks that you see a lot of people wearing. They're usually like a light blue color or a light yellowish kind of color. Like the one that I'm wearing, most of my medical masks are a light blue. Those are the ones that I wear. Those would be a step up. They usually would protect you from getting sick. They protect particles from, I would say probably around 30%, maybe 40%. It's still a lot better than nothing. To really give you a comparison of how well those kind of masks can block those kind of pathogens in general, it's like comparing a mosquito going through a chain link fence. Just imagine that being the mask. Mosquito is a coronavirus. It can go through it pretty easily. I mean, there's a chance it could block it. It doesn't really provide a whole lot of protection if you walk right into it, or someone's talking to you and they're sick, they're not wearing a mask, and the particles get onto your mask. It's only going to provide like probably around 30% protection, maybe somewhere between 30 and 40%, it really depends. If both of you are wearing a mask, there's very low chance of you getting sick. Your mask is probably going to block the rest of it, if there's any to begin with. Then the next step up from those surgical masks, the N95 mask, those are the best way to go. Unfortunately, they're impossible to get. Like, it's fucking stupid. They're impossible to get. The majority of them go to medical workers and doctors, and they're harder to breathe in, but for good reason. Because they're supposed to be hard to breathe in, because you know that they're blocking the majority of pathogens that go in and out, and they block pretty much everything. I would always recommend to wear those. Most people aren't going to be able to get those because they're always in short supply. They're next to impossible to find right now because of this stupid pandemic. More than likely not going to be able to find those anywhere. The ones that you can find that are the next best thing are those medical masks, the surgical masks that are usually blue or a light yellow color. Those are actually pretty easy to get. I went into the store. Most of the stores I go into, they have shelves full of those. There's like 25 packs standard medical masks, and trust me, it's better than nothing. If all of us wore those masks, this virus would be almost non-existent. Instead of getting like upwards of 30,000 infections a day in America, if every single person would put on one of those masks and just stay 10 feet apart, and I say 10 feet because 6 feet is just not enough. I don't think it's good enough. I prefer at least 10 feet or more, 10 feet away from the person. That's what I've always done. If we would just wear a mask, if it was a universal thing, if every person would wear a mask and stay 10 feet or more away, we would only be getting like maybe a couple hundred infections a day, if that. I mean, we could probably get this completely under control. We might not even need a vaccine if we would just do what we're supposed to do, but nobody does that. You know, and it's like, even if 80% of us did that, that's not good enough, because that 20% is going to be stupid and they're going to be going around getting everyone sick because they can't do something as simple as put on a damn mask. Like, what the hell is your problem? Those are just my tips to avoid getting sick. And if you do get sick, you'll hopefully be in a better position to fight it off. Here's another thing. Don't think that you can just suddenly start taking these vitamins. You know, like for example, if you start feeling sick and you weren't taking any of these vitamins at all before, you start getting sick and they're like, oh shit, I gotta start taking these vitamins. It's gonna be kind of useless at that point. It can take at least a couple weeks for your vitamin D levels to get to optimal levels. You know, to boost your vitamin D, it's gonna take at least a couple weeks. So at that point, you're already sick. It's not really going to do a whole lot, because by the time your vitamin D levels get up there to where it can really help you get over this sickness better, the sickness would have already taken its toll on your body. Like, it's already going to be over. So you're either going to be over it, or you're going to be in the hospital, or you're going to be dead. Whatever it winds up happening, taking the vitamin D right when you start feeling sick is almost useless. So that's why I'm saying, don't wait until the last minute to start doing these things. You should be doing it right now. Keep taking vitamin C and vitamin D every day. You know, like I do, I take like around a good 500 milligrams of vitamin C a day. I take 5,000 of vitamin D every day. You know, just take a pill. It's just in a damn pill. Vitamin D, get vitamin C, and take one of each of those every single day, at least until this pandemic is over. So just in case you end up happening to get sick, your body will be in a lot better of a position to fight it off. Because apparently, if these numbers are anything to go by, a large percentage of people so far that have died from COVID were vitamin D deficient. So that's why I can't stress this enough. Vitamin D especially plays such an important role in your immune health. It can prevent so many problems. It can help prevent cancer. It can prevent all kinds of stuff. Vitamin D is like one of the top kind of vitamins we should all be taking every single day. And then vitamin C is still pretty good too. It's a great antioxidant that can help fight off a lot of infections too. That's what I would heavily recommend that you do. Take vitamin D every day, vitamin C, eat a lot of healthy whole foods. Stay away from processed garbage, you know, fattening, junk food. Stay away from high sugar stuff and high sodium. Just eat a lot of healthy whole foods like fruits, vegetables, lean meat, whole grains like rice, eat a lot of beans. Wear a damn mask, wear a face shield too. Like, the face shield is an extra layer of protection that protects you more than it would protect other people. The mask basically protects other people from you if you're sick. Face shield basically protects you from other people that might be sick. So that's why I prefer to use both at the same time. I'll wear a mask and a face shield just so I can get the best of both worlds and have the best chance at avoiding walking into that crap. It goes into your eyes, then you can get sick that way. If it goes into your nose, that's the most common way you can get sick because it's a respiratory illness. And also if it goes into your mouth, like you eat something that's contaminated on the floor, your hands, you touch something that has the virus on it, and then you start eating something or you touch your face, you can get sick that way. So that's what the face shield is for. It blocks my whole entire face. It covers my eyes, my nose, and my mouth. If I walk into it, it'll get onto the face shield. Who cares? And then the face mask just provides another level of protection in case something happens to, you know, get under the face shield. It'll hopefully just get under the mask, and then I can just take the mask off and then go wash my hands when I get home. I wear both. And the face shields are not in short supply because most people are not aware that face shields are actually really effective at protecting you from getting sick because it covers your whole entire face. Because you don't realize that if you walk into an enclosed space, especially if there's people walking around, you're gonna walk right into it and it's gonna get in your face. The face shield covers all the way down to here, so you walk into it, it's gonna go right onto the face shield instead. It's gonna block it almost completely. not only easy to get because hardly anyone uses them, so they're easy to get, but they're also cheap. I got 2 of them. One of them melted because I left it in the fucking car when it was 110 degrees out, so I have another one. They're cheap. I got a 2-pack of those face shields online, $14. Just look up face shield, the majority of them will pop up. If you can do those basic things, you should more than likely not have to worry about getting sick. I'm still paranoid anyway. Every time I gotta go to the grocery store, because that's really the only place I ever go to. I'll go there like maybe once a month. Every time I go to the grocery store, I got the face shield on, I got the mask. I'm using hand sanitizer like 10 times every time I touch something, and I use hand sanitizer. That's why I don't like going out, because like every time I go to the grocery store, I go home for the next like 2 or 3 days. I just feel so tense because I feel like every day I wake up, I'm gonna wake up feeling like shit. Like, did I get sick? The 3rd or 4th day passes and I still feel normal. But it's like I have to feel that way every time I go out, and it's annoying because I've known way too many people that have gotten this crap. They've all said the same thing, that it feels like a damn nightmare. It feels like you just feel like total shit. I've had the flu before. I've had pneumonia before. I haven't had it in a really long time, but that was annoying enough. And knowing the fact that this is 10 times worse. Like, only like 60,000 people die a year in America from the flu. That's every year. That's like the average year, 60, 70,000 people die from the flu. It hasn't even been a year yet. Like, we're getting close to that, but it hasn't been a full year yet. Nearly 200,000 people in America have died from this virus. If the numbers are anything to go by, this virus really is worse than the flu. It's not like life or death, like, ooh, if you catch it, you're good as dead. It's not like that at all. You have a decent chance at actually getting over it and getting better. Saying, like, if you're in a high-risk group, if you're old or you have super bad health problems, like you're obese, you have diabetes, you have heart problems, or you have lung problems, you're a super heavy smoker, you know, if you have any of those kind of really bad health problems and you catch this stuff, then yeah, you're probably gonna die. Just do those common things. Take vitamin C and vitamin D every day. Wear a face shield, wear a mask, stay 10 feet away from people. Avoid enclosed spaces with crappy ventilation. Stay outside as much as possible. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands a lot. If you have to touch your face, use your shoulder or something, or just go wash your damn hands. Not have to worry about it. I've made it this far, and I'm hoping that I can just make it another 2 or 3 months, and then at that point, we should start seeing the vaccine roll out, because we're gonna have an answer on if these vaccines are gonna work or not, and we're gonna find out when they're gonna start actually rolling the vaccines out. Because here's the thing, the vaccines are already being produced. We already have the vaccine, but we're not gonna start distributing them out to the public until we find out. That's the whole point of these trials. We're taking a financial gamble here. We all want to get this over with as quickly as possible. Like, we all feel the same way. We want to get this over with as quickly as we can. They're willing to take a financial risk here. They're making all of the vaccines ahead of time, hoping that at least a couple of them are gonna work. And then by the time these final trials are over and we can find out, are they good enough? Are we gonna be able to use them? We're gonna find that out by the end of next month. And then hopefully at least a couple of them will work. I'm pretty sure at least 1 or 2 of these vaccines are gonna work. So far, there hasn't been any problems with these vaccines. They work, they seem to be perfectly fine so far. So hopefully it'll stay that way, and we'll find out by the end of next month. And then hopefully if a couple of these vaccines show that they work, then they'll start distributing them. And then if they don't work for whatever reason, then they just throw them away and go back to the drawing board. But I'm really hoping, and I'm pretty sure that at least a couple of them are going to work. There's a couple hundred of them that they're being worked on right now, and I think like 8 or 9 of them are already in the final testing trials. So we're going to see something for sure by the end of next month. There's 2 more problems that we're going to have to deal with after that. Like, if these vaccines really show that they work, there's nothing wrong with them, and we can finally use these to our advantage to end this pandemic once and for all, we have 2 more problems to deal with after that. Like, yeah, it's not going to end here. There's more problems. The next problem is distributing the vaccine throughout the world. Some of these vaccines need to be in very, very low temperatures. A lot of medical centers don't have freezers that can keep it at that low of temperatures. One problem is trying to get these vaccines out. Throughout most of America, I don't think we're going to have a problem with distributing all these vaccines when they're finished. But I'm talking about throughout the rest of the world. There's a lot of places out there that may not be able to get the vaccines for some of these reasons. That could be another problem, is how are we going to get some of these vaccines out when they need to be in very, very cold temperatures in order to not fuck up the vaccines, because they have to be in very cold temperatures until they're ready to be used. And then there's another problem, all these anti-vaxxers out there. Like, the final problem is getting people to take the damn vaccine. There's a lot of people that might not take the vaccine because they're paranoid over, like, ooh, he was rushed, all that noise. It might have been rushed a little bit, and a lot of people are paranoid over it, over like this being all politics and bullshit, but it's really not. When you think about it, the big reason why we've been able to get a vaccine so soon, because normally like the soonest we could get a vaccine for this kind of thing would be like 3 or 4 years, and we're about to have this vaccine in like a year. Pretty simple when you think about it. Money. It's all money. We have dumped so much money into research and trying to make these vaccines and develop all this medicine to try to fight the coronavirus. Like, I would be shocked if we hadn't figured this out in less than a year. I would be shocked, because it's all about the money. When we got the money, we can get more and more people involved. The whole entire world is butting heads trying to come up with a vaccine, and that is why we have the funding. We're dumping tons and tons of funding into getting this vaccine and getting these medicines going. That's a big reason. Not to mention, coronavirus is really nothing new. This is basically a new version of the coronavirus. This is version 2 of the SARS virus. SARS has been around before. We've had outbreaks of SARS in the past. This is basically SARS v2. The biggest difference that makes it so much worse, even though this isn't quite as deadly as the original SARS, but the reason why this is 100 times worse is because of how incredibly contagious it is. It spreads like wildfire. It is crazy contagious, and that's why it swept the whole entire world in just a few months. We're already at 30 million infections in just a few months, and it's not even at the end of the year yet. That's the worst part of it all, is it's so incredibly contagious. Otherwise, they were already working on vaccines for SARS and MERS and those other coronaviruses, but they were able to contain the infections pretty easily because they weren't very widespread. When you caught those, you knew pretty quickly that you were sick, and a lot of these people, they just ended up quarantined, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. But this one, basically resuming where we left off with previous vaccines for other coronaviruses, so it's a mix of that, and it's also funding. The whole entire world has thrown so much money into this, so that's another big thing of why we're coming out with this vaccine so quickly. So I wouldn't necessarily be super concerned over it, you know, causing serious side effects or anything like that. It's more than likely gonna be fine. And as far as like, am I gonna get the vaccine? I don't really know yet. I'm gonna wait until the vaccine is actually out and just see how it goes first. More than likely, I probably will wind up getting it eventually. Cranberry juice cocktail. Added sugars. 30 grams of sugar, and it has 26 grams of added sugar. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Juice cocktail. This one says juice cocktail. Includes 21 grams of added sugar out of 26 grams of total sugar. There's only 5 grams of sugar in there. 21 of those grams are added sugar. Cranberry mango. Again, juice cocktail. These things always have tons of added sugar, and as you can see, it's only 11% juice. It's 89% sugar. 26 grams of added sugar. Now let's take a look at 100% juice. White grape juice from concentrate. Total sugars is 38 grams natural sugars. 0 grams of added sugar. So even though it's high sugar content, it's natural sugar from the fruit. There's no actual added sugar. As I was saying, avoid juices that say cocktail. You should always make sure that if you do get juice, make sure that it says 100% juice and it says no added sugar. And you should obviously always check the nutrition labels to verify that there are no added sugars added to it. If you're going to be drinking juice that already has a high sugar content, it should be 100% juice. So at least you're drinking actual juice. You're not just drinking sugar water. But anyway, enough talking about this boring coronavirus and nutrition bullshit. Let's move on to something fun. Let's go on a mini bike ride. still full?
Yeah, but do you know how long they last?
Heck.
Oh, hell yeah. These stage ones last forever from what I heard.
Plenty of time, social distancing.
Can't do anything. I don't do much anymore. It's like yeah. I don't know anyone that has got it, but I just know it's not very good. Yeah, he never told me that.
From New York, and that's when he got it. He felt like he was gonna die, but he said it only lasted like 5 days.
It sounds like a political mess.
They're getting the vaccines out quickly because of the funding. Yeah, definitely have Joe get this thing working right before we go out again.
Yeah. I think that's what we're doing wrong.
If I got an emergency stop, I'll just hit a pole.
guess.
He said all work guaranteed.
Yeah, I've been fucking working on it all night. What do I need, or what do I need to fix it? Right here, freaking my shank came off. I was like, freaking power slid. Scared me for a little bit. Let's do that.
So this has been the first time that I've actually interacted with someone in several months. I haven't hung out with anyone since like March. It's been a while. It was kind of nerve-wracking because I'm not used to socializing. I'm so used to, you know, everyone that I got to be around, I just assume that they're sick and then I'm probably going to get sick and I don't want to deal with it. But it was fun finally being able to hang out with someone for a change. And I don't think I'm going to get sick. I hope I don't, but I don't see why I would. We were outside the whole entire time, staying at least 10 feet away. It was kind of funny that we were sitting in the parking lot and I was like 15 feet away as we were talking for like a straight hour. Oh.